Anyway, I've got some gist for you guys today because I escaped from my house. You might be wondering, Mo, why are you wearing a blazer in the house? If I should raise my armpit up now and you see what's going on inside. It reminds me of when this channel first started. I had an idea and I shared it with my friend and I said, oh, let's do a show together. And when I went to uni, we were split up and I was forced to turn it from the Twiggy and Chunky show into the Mochunkstv show. And I really sense something similar happening now with the setup that we've had for What's Trending, and it's been amazing. Like, Chris and Bello are my codies, like they're my homies. They've taught me so much on the show, but it's almost like in this season God is saying, Mo, you're enough. Ooh. Guys, okay, if you see the styles I've tried to use to focus myself today, if it's in focus, it's in focus. If it's not in focus, it's not in focus. Let it turn on here. But anyway, I wanted to undo my twists on camera today. Not twist, braid out. I did a braid out using a new product actually, Fourth and Raw. You guys know that I love shea butter. And my last video I was saying that I barely had any hair products, and then this amazing lady who's just started her brand sent me this, a shea butter based product called Fourth and Raw. Oh, you can already see my hairs in there. I used it for this hairstyle. It's like whipped shea butter, and then it has like essential oils in it. So I could smell almond oil in there. I could smell, oh, you can even read it. Coconut oil is in there, castor oil, avocado oil, aloe vera oil. It smells so good, like so good. You guys know that shea butter can sometimes have a smell, but this one smells really good. And I also use the Cantu shea butter leave-in conditioner repair cream. And then for an oil, I used what do you call it? I use coconut oil. I don't know where it is right now. There you are. Ooh. I used coconut oil. So she actually said that for best results for your braid out, I haven't done a braid out in a long time. I used to do them all the time. When I was first like newly natural, was the natural hairstyle to go for, right? Before I started to just embrace my natural length anyway before stretching it out. But so I didn't actually know how to do this anymore. So she said she recommended 2 days, and because anyway, I've got some gist for you guys today because I escaped from my house, y'all. But before we go into that, this has been in for about 4 days. She advised 2, so I'm just going to revitalize because my hair gets really dry really quickly. I'm just going to revitalize with this Cantu shea butter oil sheen deep conditioning spray before I start to unravel, and then we can talk about why I'm back at my flat. So obviously, if you guys have been paying attention to quarantine and chill, so another good tip is to have oil on your hands as you take it out. If you guys have been watching Quarantine and Chill, you know that I went to my house. I went to my house in Sussex, my family home, and I stayed there for about 3 weeks. But I just wasn't happy. Like majority of the time, yeah, like I was good. But then there were just 1 or 2 things, without going into like too much detail, like there were just 1 or 2 things that happened that I was just like, I actually have a whole flat that I can go to and just self-isolate by myself. Because the point was to self-isolate with my family. But I think for me, one massive thing is that I've worked on my healing, I've worked on my mental health, I've worked really hard to get myself to a sane place, to a trauma-free, whole wholeness place, and to see myself beginning to display certain behaviors that were in my past life trauma induced. It was scaring me a tiny bit, and it was kind of like, oh, I don't want to regress and I don't want to undo all the work. You can't undo the work that you do anyway. You can't fully undo it, but like you can set yourself back a tiny bit, and I really didn't want to do that. So I was just like, I'd rather have peace of mind. I'm just, sometimes you can only take people in doses, and that is exactly me with my family. I love them so much and I love being with them. But yeah, I needed my space back. So I just made my way down. Okay, this is meant to be, because natural hair does what it wants to do sometimes. And you all might be wondering, Mo, why are you wearing a blazer in the house? If I should raise my armpit up now and you see what's going on inside. This lockdown is affecting those of us that have hair. All right? And I'm not just talking about hair on our heads, I'm talking about hair on our bodies. My hair grows really fast, guys. It might be TMI. Hey ho, we're there already. So let's carry on. Yeah, my hair grows really quickly, guys, and I've just about managed to control the hair growth on my body by starting to get a professional wax. I do have a waxing kit at home just in case of emergencies, but I would rather not do it myself. I'd rather get it done because of course I can damage my skin. I might not even remove the hairs properly. And also I've been thinking about this channel and what I want to do with it next. Of course, like Corona has made all of us just rethink everything that we do. My craft is already online, so that hasn't really been affected. In fact, I've had the chance to put out more stuff online. But it's just made me, I've been exploring the things I love again. Like, it's been so brilliant. And I realize now that I really have a passion for speaking about, of course, trending topics, asking controversial questions, and just having general conversation. But I think the thing with What's Trending is that it's been about the trends, or it's been presented in a way that suggests it's about the trends than it being about the conversation. And of course, people always, come and tell me, oh, like I learned so much from this channel, just watching What's Trending. But this actually began. What's Trending was birthed from Chit Chat with Mo, which was like an online thing that we used to do back in the day. I would put up a topic of something that maybe was popping on socials, not necessarily about celebrities. Like, we would have very controversial debates, and if anything didn't happen, I would come up with a question that made people think about religion, about life, and people would comment. So I recently put one of the topics we did on What's Trending on my Instagram, and people commented, and it really reminded me of where this whole thing started from. Of course, like I shared on my socials, that's something that I've been like hearing in my spirit. I've been hearing at the beginning of this year, back to the original blueprint. Now I've been hearing God say things like Mo, park the media business for a bit. And transparency moment, like last year I experienced so much gain in the area of my business, and even like December just topped it off. Like I made the most, I think, apart from summer. Winter is normally quite slow for videographers and stuff, but my business was booming. I made so much money, and then in Jan, God was like, okay, let it go. It's like, let what go? Like, I'm making money, I'm making money. And then all of a sudden, like I was still getting clients and stuff, but like the media business started to go down, and then God was saying, I need you to focus on MCTV now. Back to the original blueprint. Obviously at the time I was only uploading like once a week. We'd only upload What's Trending, and God was saying, bring back the shows, bring back And we'd filmed Love Quiz and all of that, and I was like, yeah, like I'm good. But God was saying, no, I need you to pay full attention or more attention to this. So the business started going down, and of course Corona happened, and we've all been forced indoors. And now I've just been pushing out so much content, as well as having the content that we filmed in October, which was really a blessing in disguise because we filmed in advance for the year. So all the guests and everything, we filmed in advance, and we had it ready for a lockdown period, which just blew my mind. And especially the worship series as well. I didn't quite know where that was going to fit. But I listened to God anyway, and God said, film a worship series. I didn't know, we were going to enter a time where the world would need it, or people would need hope through worship, and here we are. So anyway, where was I going with this here? Back to the original blueprint. So apart from stripping me away from my business, I think God also wants to, in this season, strip me away from my crutches. So things that I feel that I need to hold up the vision that He's given me. And I think it kind of reminds me of the time that, it reminds me of when this channel first started. I had an idea and I shared it with my friend and I said, oh, let's do a show together. And when I went to uni, we were split up and I was forced to turn it from the Twiggy and Chunky show into the Mochunkstv show. And I really sense something similar happening now with the setup that we've had for What's Trending, and it's been amazing. Like, Chris and Bello are my Codys, like they're my homies. They've taught me so much on the show. I think I've definitely matured as a result of being around them. It's been great. The banter are amazing, but it's almost like in this season God is saying, Mo, you're enough. Ooh. It's almost like in this season God is saying, Mo, you're enough. And back to the original blueprint, you used to present this yourself. Your channel was growing, and I think, again, moment of transparency. If I was being honest with myself and God, apart from, I wanted different opinions, one of the real reasons why I decided to expand What's Trending to have co-hosts was because there was a time, I don't know whether you guys remember, there was a time when I was just saying the wrong things and I was getting in trouble, and I thought like I couldn't take it anymore. Like I was putting on a brave face, and I was like, of course, learning from my mistakes, but it was also like getting to me. The criticism was getting to me. I was taking it very personally. I was like, oh, people hate me. Would it be easier to maybe have other people on deck that, can correct me when I'm saying something that's wrong or controversial, or can just have a difference of opinion to me, so much so that I wouldn't always be the one that's getting do you get it, disagreed with, or getting called out, or I can at least just share the burden of, even if something does happen, we have each other. Because at the time I didn't really have no one that I could, I had my friends, but you get it, that was external support. But internally, within a team, I didn't have a team. So I think that was one of my crutches that I put up so I could have people to bounce off of. And it's almost like God is saying, Mo, I believe you've matured enough now. So it's a thing of, I'm thinking of season 4 of What's Trending. Will it even be What's Trending? Because of course, like I mentioned before, What's Trending was birthed as a result of Chit Chat with Mo, that we used to have those online debates, and it wasn't just about trending topics, it was about asking controversial questions, and of course in moments, life experiences. And I'm like, can I bring that back? Can I bring Chit Chat with Mo back, and kind of close off What's Trending, but of course still do the trending topics here and there, but in a different way, So I've really been thinking, literally back to the original blueprint. What do you think of the hair so far, guys? I don't actually have a mirror in front of me, so I'm hoping it's turning out great. Feels good. I feel good. I knew that I would too. Oh, and of course, the studio was closed as well because of Corona. So I'm going to have to film on my bed for now. It's all about adapting. This season is all about adapting. And for me, recoiling back to my original blueprint. course, like I'll miss, you know, bouncing off of people and stuff. But I feel like God is saying, stand on your own 2 feet now. You're not a baby no more. And like, trust me, like, I've seen the comments that people saying things like, oh, we miss Chris and Bello, and I've tried to get us to organize something, maybe via Zoom or something, but I think not everybody has the right equipment or the right lighting or the right setup, so not everyone's comfortable setting up at home and filming virtually. And I think, again, it was just another sign that was like, you know, saying, okay, Mo, it's time, you know? It's been amazing, but it's time. You know, sometimes you do have to let go of things that are good to really get to where God wants to take you. That's a word right there. Imagine God saying to you, your good is not my best for you. I had a conversation with somebody the other day, and they were saying how everyone feels like 2020 is over, and because we're all on lockdown and stuff. But even though this year was meant to be 2020 vision, but she was like, sis, deep it, like the clarity that everybody has received as a result of being indoors and being forced to face their own thoughts. Of course, that's not everyone's story, but definitely for a lot of like my friends, they've just received clarity in so many different areas about so many different things. So this really was a 2020 vision that we prayed for. Not the way we expected it, but it came. And there we go. Put on some earrings as well. I'm never actually sure like how much I should unravel it, because obviously it will still like fall and change shape and stuff. You know how Afro hair is. I think that looks great. What do you guys think? I haven't done this in so long. I think I like it. Looks nice. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section down below. And also comment about what I spoke about, guys, because this was a mini heart to heart as well. Yeah. There we go. So after this now, it's time to film What's Trending stroke Chit Chat with Mo. See, we are slowly rebranded. Slowly.